All hell just broke loose in the Senate hearing room when Senator Van Hollen told Secretary Rubio straight to his face that he regrets voting to confirm him. Van Hollen spent a full 7 minutes accusing Rubio of mishandling foreign aid, turning his back on human rights, and failing to uphold democratic principles. And trust me, this isn't your typical political back and forth. This is accusations of corruption and betrayal flying across the room like never before. Stick around after the face-off because I'm going to break down Van Hollen's claims point by point and tell the truth. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive into the drama.
Campaign of fear and repression is eating away at foundational values of our democracy. Back then, it took one voice, Attorney Joseph Welch, to cut through the hysteria with the simple question that marked the beginning of the end of that shameful era. He asked Senator McCarthy, "Have you no sense of decency?" And I would ask you the same, Secretary Rubio. But you have shown through your words and your actions what the answer is. And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job, based on what I know.
Well, that's
about
just
your
a
record
flippant
and what you
statement,
stand
Mr.
for.
Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You may.
I didn't
Okay.
ask
Senator,
question.
please let the Secretary have
I'd be
the floor.
happy to, but then I can respond to his
Your
response.
time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well-
your remarks do not represent the view of this committee.
Well, Mr. Chairman-
Secretary, please.
Well, I'd like to. I can't respond to everything he said because much of these are untrue, but I'll go through a few. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation.
I raised
don't
Sudan,
regret
Mr.
psychosocial support services.
I raised
USAID.
Sudan, Mr. Secretary,
Can I
not
respond, Mr.
Mozambique.
Chairman, or do I?
Senator, I'd ask you to suspend. You had 7 straight minutes of
I chose
railing
to
on-
use my time that way, Mr. Chairman. That's my right to
Please
use my
suspend,
time that way.
Secretary Rubio.
Well, I can go on. I mean, there's other things here. We spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID. We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come,
Mr.
you're
Chairman,
going to see who you went to
look,
defend.
Senator,
I'm sorry,
please,
Mr. Chairman.
Secretary
No.
Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated
Senator,
comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor. You had
Secretary
your time.
Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court in the
Senator-
United States because
Well,
he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy. No judge can tell me how I have to outreach to a foreign partner or what I need to say to them. And if I do reach to that foreign partner and talk to them, I have under no obligation to share that with the judiciary branch. Just like a judge cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister of Russia, they cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister or the president of El Salvador. And if I did negotiate with them, which we have responded to them, and we've told them, we've had communications with the president of El Salvador, I am under no obligation, under our division of powers in this country, and to share with the judicial branch how I conducted diplomacy of the United States. It would actually be counterproductive. If I started sharing with courts, or frankly, with the media, my conversations with foreign leaders and all of their details, no foreign leader would talk to me again, and we would break trust with them. So I have complied with every court order. What I won't comply with is an order to disclose what I'm saying and what we're talking about with a foreign leader, because then they won't talk to me. Diplomacy doesn't work that way. About the student visas, let me say this. I don't deport anybody, and I don't snatch anybody. The State Department does not have officers in the street snatching everybody. What I do is revoke visas, and it's very simple. A visa is not a right. It is a privilege. People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study. And if you tell me that you're coming to the United States to lead campus crusades, to take over libraries and try to burn down buildings and acts of violence, we're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what Ms. Ozturk did?
We're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what she
And if you
did?
do
Come
that-
on, Mr. Secretary.
And every single
You're
one of
just
these
blowing
cases, the
smoke
factors
here
are
now.
different.
Senator-
The bottom line is, if you're
Senator,
coming here to
we-
stir up trouble on our campuses, we will deny you a visa. And if you
Does
have
the
a
First
visa
Amendment
and we find
apply
you,
to
we'll
people
revoke
living
it.
in the United
And
States?
we're going to do more. There are more coming. We're going to continue to revoke the visas of people who are here as guests and are disrupting our higher education facilities. People are paying money. These kids pay money to go to school, and they have to walk through
Writing
a bunch
an
of
op-ed
lunatics
to the
who are
tough
here on student
newspapers
visas.
disrupting the
Simple
foreign
as
policy
that.
of the United
I want to
States.
do more. I hope we can
That's
find more of these people.
pathetic, Mr.
In fact, the other
Secretary.
day, some guys led a riot. I forgot what university it was, and I asked, please, can you find the arrest records of all the people that were arrested at that riot at that campus? Because if any of them have a visa, we're going to revoke it.
I feel so much safer
All right,
when you
let's,
lock up people like Ms. Osterg, Ms. Secretary.
We've had enough time on the subject. Thank you very much.
So first, Van Hollen accused Rubio of recklessly cutting foreign aid. But here's the deal. Rubio streamlined aid to cut wasteful spending, ensuring that your tax dollars actually help those in need. And despite these cuts, by the way, the U.S. remains the largest humanitarian donor in the entire world, focusing on impactful aid rather than throwing money away. Second, Van Hollen said Rubio downgraded human rights efforts, and this is also not true. Rubio reorganized the State Department to make human rights central to all diplomatic missions, as it should be. He's pushing a strategy where human rights aren't sidelined. They're at the heart of U.S. diplomacy everywhere. Third, on immigration and visas. Rubio got heat for revoking visas and supporting deportations, but here's what actually happened. Visas are privileges, not rights. Rubio only revoked visas for legitimate security concerns or law-breaking activities. This is what should happen. And those deportations, they were targeted towards individuals with serious backgrounds and criminal backgrounds, keeping American communities safer. And then Van Hollen claimed that Rubio cozied up to authoritarian leaders, right? Actually, Rubio knows diplomacy sometimes requires really tough conversations, and engaging with adversarial leaders directly helps America maintain American influence, pushing them towards democratic reforms rather than driving them closer to our competitors like China or Russia. And Rubio faced accusations for discriminatory refugee admissions. But Rubio clarified that refugee admissions are strictly based on assessments of persecution and America's security interests, as it should be. His policy is not discriminatory. It protects genuinely persecuted individuals, which is a very small percentage, and safeguards us, the U.S. citizens. And finally, Van Hollen's attacks Rubio's stance on Russia and Ukraine, and Rubio just responds strongly. He mentions that existing sanctions on Russia are tough. They are comprehensive. U.S. support for Ukraine remains solid and unwavering, even under Rubio's watch, directly countering Russian aggression. Now, let's step back a little bit and look at the bigger picture. Rubio's approach isn't about responding, to criticisms. It's about reshaping America's diplomacy to be smarter and safer and more effective. He's not afraid to shake things up and put America first, ensuring that our policies actually align with our values and security needs. And Van Hollen threw a lot of accusations, but it's clear he's either missing the point or worse, he's intentionally misrepresenting Rubio's and the Trump administration's efforts. And when Rubio cuts a program, he's not abandoning humanitarian causes. He's cutting bureaucratic bloat that keeps money from reaching the people who really and genuinely need it. When he reorganizes departments, he's breaking down outdated silos that have hindered effective diplomacy. Rubio's stance on immigration is simple. America welcomes those who respect our laws and contribute positively. Criminal activities or threats? Not going to happen. That's a clear line Rubio won't compromise on, and frankly, neither should anyone else. Every accusation against Rubio collapses under real scrutiny. The real Rubio agenda is about efficiency, safety, and genuine American leadership. And if you're tired of misleading political attacks like this one and want the truth, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Together, let's demand honesty and accountability from our leaders. It needs to be done. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Thanks for tuning in and stay involved.